Yo, what's up? You're flexing it with freestyles right now. Today I'm very honored to have Wesley here to be my first ever guest of my little show that I've just started doing.
I wake up in the morning, I be dreaming of that shit. I wake up in the morning and the motherfucker still lit.
My name is Wesley Jameson. I'm an R&B artist, lover of music. I'm from Paris, France.
Wow.
And I live in Hong Kong. Been
Okay.
here for 8 years.
But now, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your upbringing? You know, when you grew up, what were you into and what made you want to actually start doing music?
So I guess the main thing is like my mom is a singer.
Okay.
That's her job.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's a singer, so she has quite the career. I'm proud of her. And so of course, like, it was always music around when I grew up. Always going to the studio with her and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, I think my very first music memory was like her playing James Brown at home.
Wow.
And,
James Brown.
Yeah. For some, like, even though like Sex Machine is really not a song for kids, but like,
Especially when
just
you're
like,
young, right?
Yeah, but it's just so catchy, you know. And I just remember that, and I remember also "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." She used to play that a lot.
Really?
Say it loud!
What was your parents' reaction when you first told them that you do music? Especially your mom.
Yeah, my dad was like supportive right away.
Okay.
Also, my dad also loves music a lot.
Nice.
Like, and he listens to a lot of different genres and stuff. So I've also discovered a lot of music with him.
Okay.
So he was supportive. My dad just wanted me to be happy, really. Like, okay, as long as you're happy and you manage to live comfortably, you're not struggling financially and all that. You can do whatever you want.
Good.
My mom, now she's very supportive.
Yeah. Okay.
Took her a little while, but because I had graduated and because I had my degree, she was like, okay, I mean, at least, you have your degree, you're an engineer, or like, if you ever want to go back to this life.
Is that like a safety net or something?
Yeah,
right?
exactly, which I will never use.
Why Hong Kong?
It's a long story, but I graduated from engineering school a long time ago.
Long time ago.
And I just wanted to leave home. And one of my best friends had been to Hong Kong before. He wanted to come back, and I was like, all right, man, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's just go. There was no music involved. It was just like,
Wow.
trying to see something different.
How old were you when you left?
I was 23. Yeah, 23.
Okay, still young.
Yeah. First of all, you shouldn't think about, where you are and what's around you and what's trendy when you start anyway. So when you do it for the love of it. And so when I got here, I met my very good friend Chris.
Okay.
Chemical Chris.
Yep.
Who's a rapper. And he needed someone for a chorus for one of his songs. So he had been rapping before for a few years.
Right.
And I was like, okay, man, let me try. I like to sing. I had never done anything before. Just
Really?
like a few covers here and there. So I tried it, and we liked it.
Okay.
And then from there, we did another song, and then we worked on a mixtape together, and then we founded Habitat together, and Mama Told Me, and just kept going.
So progression, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you describe your R&B singing style?
To be honest, I kind of have a hard time defining my sound, just because I just do what I like, I just do what I like, and I like a lot of things, and maybe in one song I might sound like someone, and on another song I might sound like someone else.
Okay.
So it's very hard for me to define my sound, I would
Okay.
say. Yeah, that's why I'm always interested about hearing it from other people. Like, what do you think my sound is, or what do you think? How would you describe, or yeah?
Okay, so me, your sound is progressively towards today's sound, but at the same time you keep that elements of what we used to call the golden era of R&B and hip hop in the 90s.
Right.
Would you say that's a fair?
I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair because, of course, I love R&B from back then as well. This is what made me love R&B in the first place. But I would say that what defined R&B, especially back then, was like powerful voices, which I don't think my voice is not that powerful in that way.
Okay.
Of course, I feel like I'm a good singer, but it's like it's a really special, like powerful voices from the 90s. But they come directly from gospel music, which is church music, which is really powerful. Comes from really the gut.
That's right.
Yeah. So I don't have that.
Okay.
But in terms of sound, yeah, for definitely like big inspiration for sure. So I could see that. Interestingly, most collabs that I've done were always we recorded in our own site. So like I record my stuff, they record theirs, then we just like put it together and get it mixed. So it was like this with Tommy Yama. It was like that.
Okay.
With the collabs that I dropped like last year with Tommy Grooves,
okay,
and Salty Chick, and Noah Friday, and Dylan Hing. It was like that. Also, I send them because it was already my songs that I wanted remixes for. So I send them like a free verse on that song.
Okay.
They recorded it, send it back. But the first time I've worked with someone like in the same space to create a song was with Derek Chan for Fantasy.
Okay.
And
you wanna be together? You told me not to hurt you. Girl, it's complicated.
It was really smooth, right? We really clicked quickly. We did it in a few hours. And
nice.
Yeah. And then since then I've done this with my friend Masa as well, which is an R&B singer, up and coming as well. We have a few songs coming like in the safe already.
Nice.
Well, it's definitely it's complicated. It's smaller. I would say like it's smaller than the hip hop scene because there are more rappers and stuff.
True.
But at the same time, modern Canto pop kind of
touches.
It goes a little bit, it touches R&B, rhythms and sounds. Exactly. So I think this is, it's definitely hopeful for me because I feel like Canto pop being the biggest genre in the city, and it sounding, it's like kind of similar to R&B in certain aspect of it. There is a market. It makes me feel like there's a market.
Okay.
Good. Maybe I need to like shift here and there to sound a certain way as well, just to like get attention at first before going back to 100% what I want to do. Maybe. But in general, the goal is of course to have also crowds outside of Hong Kong. Of course, I'm based here, but R&B is still like it's popular in Korea, in Japan, Southeast Asia, also like Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand. So there is definitely a market. It might be a little bit harder in Hong Kong, but I feel like making it in Hong Kong and being an artist that comes out of Hong Kong and then makes it in Asia is definitely special.
Yeah, I look forward to see your journey as you move forward.
I do understand that it's how the consumption of music has changed and attention span and all and I'm also a victim of that. You know, sometimes when I listen to like older songs, or the older rap songs, and I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, we used to have a third verse. And it's like but I always catch it, so it's like it's something that I noticed, and it's like, man, we used to have a third verse, and it's like it kind of feels long, but I do like this. I like the song, and I remember the song from back then, so I enjoy it. But I do not know if a song today that drops with 3 verses and like 4 or 5 hooks, I'm gonna feel like it's long, because you know I've been used to like shorter songs. So in terms of creating, I don't mind it. It also means that you have less time to get that catchiness.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to be catchy. You have like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It needs to be catchy like right away.
I know you won a couple of little awards last year in Hong Kong. One of them being What's Good, which is sitting in front of us right over there. What was that feeling like for you?
Well, first of all, the fact that it happened was very exciting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, I've been in the city for a few years now, working, you know, being part of the scene. So like seeing something and being like lucky enough to be able to be part of it, just being part of it. Because before the show, I didn't know that I was nominated for anything.
Right.
I just knew that I was going to perform.
Okay.
Which I was very grateful for. For me, it's like, okay, man, I'm performing the first hip hop and R&B award in Hong Kong. Like, this is like amazing, you know?
Yeah. Unheard of, actually, to be honest.
Exactly. So like, I was very excited, and then when I heard, so it was funny because like I was getting ready to perform backstage with Derek,
right?
And they were announcing the best song in a foreign language like category, and then I hear our song like in nominees, and I was like, wait, I didn't. Yeah, because for me, you know, I didn't know. Like, I was like, okay, man, I'm not even gonna expect anything.
Just chill and just be there.
You know, for me, it's like I'm not. You know, I'm based here, but I'm not, you know, from Hong Kong. It's like I'm just happy. For me, I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be part of the show, part of the party. You know, I don't have to be nominated or win anything. It wasn't my expectation.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. Let's all party together. It's just like a big celebration. And then they call our name for the Silver Award. It's like,
shit.
Yeah, I gotta thank my mama, thank, you know, God, thank Hong Kong. Just happy to be here, man. And then afterwards, I realized that I was from the whole show, I was the only non-Asian winner of anything.
Damn.
And I was like, wow, man, that shit is really special, you know? Like, I'm really grateful for that, because like it just feels like, you know,
out of the world for you, right?
Yeah, first of all, and also I'm being accepted in a place that's not, you know, I mean, it became home. You know, home. I live here; it's my home. But you know, I'm not from here. I didn't grow up here. And man, being part of the Hong Kong hip hop scene. If you were to tell me this like 15 years ago, like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, so it's like, wow, man, I was really like, really grateful and really, really happy, man. It's just, you know, having an award at home, man.
Nice, no, it's good. Now I heard that you're a teacher as well. So did your class celebrate with you after you won the award?
Actually, like my students don't know.
Okay.
They don't know. I mean, it depends. Actually, of course, I've been doing this for a few years now. So like some classes,
they know,
got to know, like they figure it out some way, somehow. So like it depends on the class, really. And then,
your
like,
hair.
Maybe, but I did, like some tell me, oh yeah, I saw you on YouTube. I'm like, what did you see on YouTube? What you mean? So then like I have some parents follow me on
nice.
Instagram now. Shout out if you're looking at this.
Who would you love to collaborate, like locally or internationally? In the near future, let's not go too far down the line. Next 2 or 3 years. Now the
next 2 or 3 years, I definitely want a song with JB.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm,
really
you know, I think it'll happen.
Okay.
I feel confident. I want it to happen because I really love his work and I love his vibe and everything. So he's a cool dude. And so you know, there's a like I really like Jay Fong, the Canto pop artist, and because I met him,
Smooth
I met him at the What's Good Award.
Okay.
And first of all, he's really cool, but also like he can really sing, like really, like, you know, if I give him like an I don't know, 90s R&B whatever type, I know he's gonna kill it.
Good.
So like I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, you know, why not?
Why not?
That's this like completely shooting, you know. Yeah. So like, you know, I'm just saying this like that. That'd be it. Internationally, man. I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know, cause for me, I'm still, even though, you know, I'm an artist and I make music, but I guess I'm still very much a fan of so many artists. I don't like. I would have to like overcome the whole like, oh yeah, I really like this dude, and to feel like, okay, I'm actually on a level where I can actually work with this dude.
What if someone like Brandy comes and say, yo, Wes, let's do a track? Look, she's doing freaking rap now, right? Just like,
hey, come on, like, yeah, true. Man, whoever out here, if you refuse a Brandy feature, man, you're fucking stupid. Of course, I'd be like, yes, we do it right here, right now, whatever. I have a studio here, you can do it.
Do it now, right?
Yeah, for real. Of course.
How do you juggle your work with music? I mean, music to me now, to you, is work as well now. It's not just playtime.
Yeah, for sure.
Thing,
For sure.
right? You want to grow in that
definitely.
world. Right?
I mean, it's not. I'd be lying if I said it was easy. It's not easy. Of course, I need a day job. Of course, financially, first of all.
We all do.
Also, yeah. So yeah, it's like, you know, I have 9 to 5, and then I have to. It's all about scheduling and time management, which is like, you know, it gives me anxiety a lot of times. But I gotta, you know, I have so much going on, and every day something is happening, and I still need to find the time to create.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like is that I need to schedule time to create. It's not something that I can just let happen. I don't just wake up and be like, okay, let me just sit in the studio and see. No, it's like, okay, I finish at 5, come home, maybe I go to the gym a little bit, and then I come back home. It's like, okay, now this is the time where I need to create right now. If I don't create today, then I didn't do anything. I need to go back to work tomorrow.
What are you working on?
Working on my upcoming single.
Okay.
Yeah. So this year I'm only gonna drop like singles.
Nice.
But I really wanna work on them as, you know, package the song, the video, like proper promo, which I think this is what I'm lacking. Like taking the promo like not more seriously, because I do take it seriously, but you know, I could do more. And I can be more consistent.
Right.
I'm trying to work on consistency, but to be consistent, you need to have everything lined up before you start. So this is what I'm doing right now. So it's been a long time since I've dropped anything.
Okay.
But I still perform a lot still, but yeah. Once everything's gonna be lined up, you guys are gonna.
Nice. Words for the audience.
Well, if you haven't checked out my music yet, please do. Wesley Jameson on all streaming platforms. R&B Wesley on Instagram, and hopefully you like it. Yeah.
Word. Peace out.
Thanks
Thank
for
you very
having me.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being my first guest.
My pleasure.
You won't be my only guest. Fingers crossed, but hell, it's a start, right?
Thank you for
Thank you,
having
my
me.
brother. Yo, what's up, everyone?